friends, it's Diane, the Creative Inkster, and I want to thank you so much for taking my July Avid Stampers class, which features the Safari Smiles stamp set and coordinating dies. Here's a tip for you when you get yours. You can save the extra sleeve because the actual stamp set and dies will fit back to back nicely into one sleeve. And then what I do with my leftover sleeves is I'll put things like embellishments in them and store them separately. So nothing goes to waste. Can probably also use them for packaging and other fun ideas as well. So there's a little tip for you. I'm going to show you how to put together your cards. This class takes place in person on July 28th from 6:30 to about 8:30. Here's our first card, and it's called the Impossible card because we cut it in such a way that we then flip this piece. So let me show you the bits that come with this card. So in your packet, the pieces are all cut and ready to go. They've been scored. So this is 5.5 by 4 1/4. I'll grab my ruler just to double check. And I have scored it halfway across at 2 3/4 and then cut down. Actually, I should show it to you this way. This is 4 1/4 across. I've scored it in the middle at 2 1/8 all the way down. Then I turned it diagonally to the left. And along the 5.5 inch side, I cut from the top down to that score line we first made. And then turn it 180 degrees. And you're going to cut score. I scored it to get started at 1 1/4 inches. And then cut down to that center score line. And then from the other side in, I cut down from the top at 1 1/4 inches, once again down just to that middle score line. And then you have the piece like this, but that's not what it looks like when you're finished. So all you need to do is flip this once. So you're going to flip this towards you. So as a guide, have your two cut edges away from you, and then flip this over like that, all the way over. So do that again. So with your two cut sides away from you, hold this in your left hand, the L shape, and flip the whole thing over and score it. And now when you stand it up, you have the shape of the Impossible card. Just matches just like that one. Okay, and now you're going to start decorating the Impossible card from there. So here are the pieces. First off, you're going to put the pattern pieces down here. Consult the PDF for the measurements. Then you're going to add some stability to the card because it is just one piece of cardstock. And I've embossed this layer. One goes on this side over the DSP, flip it over, and one goes on the back. And remember, do not glue through there. Just glue along the L shapes. On this piece, you're going to stamp your greeting. And I use Peaceful Pine. Going to flag the edges and add it here. On the flap, you'll have this white piece for stamping your elephant and your bird, and you can cut them out by hand or use the dies in the set. This background piece is already embossed, so then once you've die cut your pieces, you'll add them here. And you also have these two leaf pieces, excuse me, and they already have adhesive on the back of them. So peel the adhesive off and place them here. That's all there is to it. So the magic in this card really and truly is in the flip. And then it stands up fairly nicely on a table, just like that. And then you can put your message for the person on the back. It's a fun fold. It's a different idea, but I wanted to share it with you. It seemed really appropriate for this particular card. Let's tuck our pieces back in. That's card number 1. Card number 2 is this one. Your pieces will vary a little bit from my sample. My order of soft seafoam hasn't come in, so I've switched it up from soft seafoam on the card base and this layer to golden glow. And I've switched the DSP a little bit up so we get some beautiful golden glow in there too. There we go. We have a standard card base with a fold on the front at 2 1/8. You fold that back. That's your new card base. Add your emboss layer to the inside so it's slightly smaller to fit. On the front opening flap, you're going to put this pattern paper, which has some beautiful golden glow flowers on it. And then this piece, that would work, but it looks really nice with the leaves, I think, on the inside. And so that's how it closes. Then you've got several other pieces here. This is going on the front over top of your pattern paper. It's just a piece of peaceful pine with an embossed piece to match in white. That'll go just right over there. Kind of tucks in with a little wee border. Then on this piece of scrap, you will stamp your lions and color them in with, I used Golden Glow and I believe the new Barely Bashful. Barely Bash. Let's double check that. Barely Blush for their noses. Okay, lovely. So your stamping is going to go on there. This is your label tag for Just For You. I've cut another piece of Peaceful Pine. You can cut it in half, flag the ends, and tuck it behind. And that's how you create this piece here. So it's smaller. You just cut it in half and glue it behind. And then for the inside for your message, you've got 2 more pieces here. They go on the inside like so. Great. So that's card number 2 with a bunch of folds, lots of embellishing, lots of embossing to enjoy on that card. And then you'll also have your gems included for all the cards and the ribbons as appropriate. Card number 3 is a fun fold. Here are our pieces, and this is the card. And it has a small edge here so that when you pull this open, it stands up beautifully. So that's how it would stand up, but I'll show you it laying down so you can see all the different folds. But it needs the couple little folds there just to give it some stability that way. All right, so you're going to take your card base, open it up from where the fold is. You're going to fold on all of the folds that are here, and that will give you the structure for the card. On the outside pieces, you have these 2. They tuck in like that. And then your front focal point is here. You're going to use this piece of scrap white to stamp your large elephant, and I use smoky slate and then colored it in with fresh freesia Stampin' Blend. Use what you have. For the greeting, I heat embossed the congratulations and did that in gold, flagged the edges. For the inside of the card, now this is stuck to the front, so it's a little bit hard to see. Where I have these pattern papers, you're actually going to use these. Same colors, takes a little bit of a different look to the front of it, but it all coordinates beautifully. And then these embossed pieces go on the inside panels. These panels are all the same size. And then you have 3 pieces. Oh, yes, before you glue these down, you're going to want to put your 3 panels like this. That just kind of pulls all the colors together. So this is kind of how yours is going to look once you do that. And then you'll put your white ones over top. So it covers these small bits a little bit. I didn't want to cut them exactly to size because I was concerned the matching up wouldn't go so well. So, and it's easy to mix them up if they're not all the same size. So they're all 1/2-inch strips. And then the focal point goes on with dimensionals, just a few of them down the back. Just try to center that as best you can, and that's how you get it to pop out. It's a center pop out card. Radio, that's that card number 3. Once again, all the measurements for the cards are in the PDF. Our final card for this class is quite a fun fold card. I love this. My friend Cindy Piggott showed us how to do this one. It takes a fair bit of cardstock and a few layers. So let's just take a dive in and see how that goes. Here are your pieces. I'm going to work from the bottom up. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4 matching pieces. These make the base, which is this piece here. You need 4 pieces in total. So fold them all first in half on the score line. And then you're going to start gluing them together. Holding 2 in your hands like this, you glue the 2 center ones together. And you now have basically 3 panels. 1, 2, 3. Then take the next one, fold it as well, glue it onto the right panel. And then that's what we have. And then the 4th one, fold in half and glue both of them to the remaining panels. So when you're done, you have a shape that looks like this for your pillar. And each panel has 2 pieces of cardstock glued together. You want to get them glued close to the folds. So once you've got it glued together and it's flat, then you have a mechanism piece, which is here, and some DSP. Let's get that on first. So your DSP, there are 4 pieces. They go on every single panel. 1, 2. Oh, yes. 1, 2 on the front. So find your front. There's your, let's go back one step. I need one more hand. You've got your pillar piece put together. Pick a front and a back. Where my fingers are holding in the middle, that's the inside. You're not going to be decorating those. You're decorating the front and the back. So that's where you put the DSP. Like that. Flip it over. And then the DSP here and here. Remember, you are not decorating the insides. You are decorating the front and the back. Then you have your mechanism. So this is just a 3x1. Fold the pieces back and glue them down. I just want to take a peek on how that folds in. Right. So you want to use your finger just to round them ever so slightly and then glue the pieces down. And that's the piece that's going to make this front pop out. Once you got your mechanism on the front and on the back, then you're ready to do the rest of the decorating. These have already been cut and embossed for you. And just a reminder, if you're cutting and embossing a piece, cut first, then emboss. Otherwise, your embossing will get squished. You will see a fold score line down here. You want to fold those back. Once you have those folded back all the way, center it on the front and glue it down. So I'll show you on the finished card. You're going to glue it all the way down there and all the way down there. You're going to do the same on the back. So there are 2 pieces of this beautiful emboss that go on the front and the back. And then we have a few other pieces here. Oh my goodness. The piece that I cut out of here is going to go on the pop-up mechanism. So I would recommend you put your adhesive on the mechanism and then put your piece down over top. Then glue this down. All of this is with Stampin' Seal, tear and tape, or glue, not dimensionals. And then once you've done your stamping and such, you have a piece here. Here's that little piece of white. And that's going to do your elephant. You're going to stamp your elephant and hand cut or die cut out. That will go on the front on top of this. The elephant, there's your greeting. Now, my greeting is shorter, but I wanted to give you the full length so that you can choose to keep it as long as you like. If you have this die, the stylish shapes, you can stamp your greeting on there, and then when you cut it out, you can lay your die right over top, fill in the holes, and it will cut it off smaller for you, or use something else in your stash. There's embellishments on this. On the back side, the pieces that you have remaining will be the cutout from there. That goes on the mechanism. Once again, add your adhesive on the mechanism and then push this through the window for it to grab onto. And then that's the piece on the back on which you'll write your message when you're giving the card away. And I just stamped the little feet and the little bird for some decoration on the back. So this card's not a great card to mail. It's going to cost you extra, but there you go. There's a little bit of embellishing, popping up with dimensionals, but not a lot. And that is it, friends. That is our 4 cards for this class. Thank you for taking it. I have new classes out for August and then September to December. So please check your email, and I hope you'll sign up for those as well. Here are our 4 cards. Enjoy making them. Thanks for joining me. Bye.